Hi students, it's Miss Ayala. Today we're going to practice doing some addition and subtraction word problems using the word problem structures. And they're going to be multi-step, so we have to make sure that we read our problem carefully because since it's a multi-step, that means I'm going to have more than one step. That's right. But that also means I might be doing more than one operation. So let's read this one, read it twice, and let's create our mind movie. And then we will start drawing our strip diagrams. Everybody read. Okay, so after reading it, do we have a total number of miles that the Henderson family is going to be driving? Do we know our total? Yes, absolutely, we do. What is our total? That's right, 916 is our total. So I'm going to put 916 miles at the top, shows me my total. Now, I have to think about the problem, and in the problem it said that the family was going to be driving to the beach, and they're going to be driving for a certain number of days, and then it gave me the question, how many miles do they have left to drive? So I have to think to myself, how many sections am I going to make this rectangle? The sections depend on the information in the word problem. So as I'm reading through, I see that it says the first day, I see second day, I see third day, and then I see how many miles do they have left to drive. Okay, so I know for sure that there's 3 days. But if I break this up into 3 and I put the numbers in each, will I have an unknown? No, I won't. Because look, let's just look at it and let's say if it says the first day they drove 250 miles, the second day they drove 65 miles more. Ooh, because of that more, I have to be very, very careful. I have to think about what that means in order for me to put the second day. So here's my first, here's my second, and then it says the third day they stopped at a restaurant to have lunch and drove 113 less than the first day. So there are tons of steps I have to do in this problem, but if I have my first, second, and third day, there's no unknown anywhere. My question says, how many miles do they have left to drive? So this word problem structure, I can't use. I can't use it if it's broken up just into 3 because my question is, how many do they have left to drive? So I have to set it up with more than 3 boxes. I need to have a question mark in there somewhere. So let's fix our word problem structure. We're going to have to go back. I have to get rid of the 3 boxes. So let's start again. Gonna redo, let's see. Starting over, I'm going to look at 916, of course, is going to stay my total because 916 miles is how far they're going to get to the beach. So I know my total. So that will go on the top. I know my total. I know that they drove 3 days, but my job is to figure out how many they still have left to drive. So my unknown is the miles left. This I would label as which day? Good. So the first day, this one? Good. Second, and then? Excellent. Third day. Perfect. Okay, so now going back to our problem, it says on the first day they drove 250 miles. Okay, that's my duh. That's the one that I can put in automatically because that one they tell me, they literally wrote it down for me. They said on the first day they drove 250. So 250 will go into the first day. Now it says on the second day they drove 65 miles more than the first day. Okay, so now I have to think about what that says. It doesn't say they drove 65 miles, does it? No, it says they drove 65 miles more than the first day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a separate word problem structure just for me to see exactly what that means. So I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to show you the word problem structure. So they said on the first day, they drove 250 miles. On the second day, they said they drove 65 miles more than they did on the first day. So that means they still drove 250 miles, but they drove how many more? Excellent. 65 more miles. So how am I going to figure out the second day? What am I going to do with these two numbers? That's right, because this was the 65 more miles than the first day. So in order for me to figure out how many on the second day, I am going to what? That's right, add. And remember, whatever I write, you write. So let's figure this out. What is 250 plus 65? What is 0 and 5? Good, 5. What is 5 and 6? Good, 11. Let's regroup that. 1 here, 1 there. What is 2 and 1? Excellent, 3. So what is my answer for the second day? Excellent. 315 miles. All right, let me go back. Let's put it back in. Let's go to our original strip diagram, and let's put that in. Move that out of the way. Let's put it back in here. So now, on my second day, I know that they drove 315 miles. Okay, now I need to figure out my third day. So let's go back to our problem. Let's see what they say about the third day. It says, on the third day, they stopped at a restaurant to have lunch and drove 113 less. 113 less than the first day. Okay, so now, yet again, let me move this out of the way, and I'm going to set up another strip diagram. It showed that they drove a total of what on the first day? That's right, 250. So 250 will be my total. Now, I have to figure out how many miles they drove on day 3. So here's my third day. The information they gave me, they said that they drove 113 miles less than they did on the first day. So 113 less than the first day. My first day is my total that I put on top. So how am I going to solve for this unknown? What am I going to do with 250 and 113? Yes, absolutely. I'm going to subtract, because if I have a total, my answer cannot be bigger than the total. So I'm going to subtract to find my unknown. So let's do that. Let's do 250 minus 113. What is 0 minus 3? Excellent. Can't do. What do I have to do? Yes, regroup. So let's regroup. We're going to the tens. 5 turns 2. Good. 4. The 0 is now, good, 10. Now can I subtract? Perfect. 10 minus 3. Good. 7. 4 minus 1? 3. And what is 2 minus 1? 1. Excellent. Okay, so this is my answer for the third day. All right, let's go back and let's put it back in. All right, let me close this, make this a little smaller, move it out of the way. Let's bring this one back. Now, third day. What is my answer for the third day? Good, 137. Now, am I done? Have I solved the problem? No, I sure haven't. What I've done is I have gone through and I did first day, I figured out the second day, and I figured out the third day, but I still have not answered the question. How many miles do they have left to drive? So I still have my unknown. How am I going to solve this problem? What am I going to do to figure out how many miles they have left? Using my word problem structure, using this strip diagram, what am I going to do to figure out how many miles are left? Talk to your elbow partner about what you should do. Okay, what should you do? Excellent. Yes, absolutely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I combine all three of those numbers. And then what am I going to do with them? That's right. I am going to subtract them from my total. Excellent. Because I have to find this missing part. I have to find what this is. And I know that my answer cannot be bigger than 916. So what I'm going to do, there's more than one way to solve this. I could have done 916 and subtracted day 1, then subtract day 2, then subtract day 3. But I would rather combine them all together, add them all, then subtract once. So let's do that. What is 250 plus 315? Now, I'm only doing 2 at a time, and that, students, is what I hope you're doing as well. 2 at a time. Don't try to do all 3 because that's how we make mistakes. Let's do 1, 2 at a time. So let's see. 0 plus 5 is? Good, 5. What is 5 plus 1? Good, 6. And then hundreds place, 2 plus 3? Good, 5. Now, I did the 250, I did the 315. What do I add next? Excellent, 137. Okay, so plus 137. What is 7 and 5? Excellent, 12. Regroup that, 1 up there. What is 6 plus 3? Good, 9. 1 more. 10. Regroup. 0. Regroup that 1. 5 and 1 is 6. 1 more. 7. Excellent. So is 702, is that my answer? Do I put that in this box? Yes or no? No, I absolutely do not put it in this box. Why? Who can tell me why that number does not go in the box? Talk to your elbow partner. Why does 702 not go in that box? Why is that not your answer? Talk to your elbow partner. Okay? The reason why is because if I put 702 in that box, that means if I added all 4 of those together, it should equal 916. Will that equal 916? Is that reasonable? No, absolutely not. That is not reasonable. 702 cannot go in that box. Not at all. 702 is the combination of those 3 numbers. Now, what do I do with 702 and this total to find how many miles I have left? Excellent. I'm going to subtract because I know that 916 is the total miles I found first day, second day, third day, and I added miles left in my box. So all 4 of these equal 916. So in order for me to find this missing part, I'm going to take 916 and subtract 702, which is the day 1, first, second, and third day that I found. All right, where do we start? What place value? Good, the 1s. What is 6 minus 2? Excellent, 4. 1 minus 0? 1. And 9 minus 7? 2. Perfect. So what goes in the miles left box? Excellent, yes. 214. So my answer is 214 miles left. Whew. Now look at this problem. Talk about multi-step, huh? Yes, let's look at what we did. So first, we had to set up the word problem structure. And we figured out that we needed how many boxes? That's right. We needed 4 boxes, not 3. We needed 4 because we had to have an unknown. If we don't have an unknown, we don't have a word problem. So we had to make sure we set it up. We labeled them correctly, first, second, third, and then miles left. That was our question. There's our unknown. And of course, we put the total of 916 at the top. So step 1. And then we had, well, first day was easy because that was our duh. It told us. So there was the duh. Yep. Easy, easy. Told us what we had on the first day. Then to figure out the second day, we had to read our problem and it said that they drove 65 miles more. So then, let's see what we did. We showed it right here in the 65 miles more. There we go. So there was our first day, and it showed 250. But then our second day said 250, but it said 65 more miles than the first day. So I had to give the exact same amount of miles from the first day and then add the 65 more miles. And when I did that, I got 315. So then I was able to go back into my original word problem structure, add second day. Then I found third day by doing what? How did I find third day? That's right. It said it was 113 miles less than first day. So I created a new word problem structure with 250 as the total. And then I wrote the 113 on this box so I can figure out how many were left. Then I subtracted because I can't get bigger than my total. So I knew that my operation was subtraction. I got 137 as the difference. Then I plugged it in. So let's see, going back to our original word problem right there. I can see that I have first, second, third day, and then all I had to do was figure out how many miles I had left. And the way I did that was by combining these 3, then subtracting from our total. And we came up with 214. When we added all 3 of them, we ended up with 702 as our answer. Then we subtracted 702 from the 916 to get 214. That's how many miles they had left to drive. Whew! Huge problem, but it was super simple. If you draw your word problem structures, the math is easy, especially if you have your total already. You know that you are not going to be bigger than the total. So whatever's in here, if you have an unknown underneath your total, to find your unknown, you are subtracting. Absolutely subtracting, because you cannot get bigger. Your answer cannot be greater, it cannot be bigger than the total. Okay, students, excellent job on this word problem. Now, your turn. Go have some math fun.